Hello, guys. So, I'm going live today to introduce our new Ask the Nutrition Expert um, series. It's going to happen on Tuesdays and Fridays. So, I'm just going to go live on Instagram too. I'm just trying it a bit different today so we can reach some of our followers over there. So, you might see me looking to the side a bit. It's because I'm going to go live on Instagram too. Okay, so thank you for joining me today. If you guys are on live, say hey. I'm Kathy Richards. I'm the registered dietitian that works with the Ottawa Integrative Health Center. And we're starting a new series. So I've got Instagram up. So if you're on Instagram, say hi. If you're on Facebook, say hi as well. We're starting a new series to help answer your questions more often, and it's called Ask the Nutrition Expert. So on Tuesdays and on Fridays, we're going to hop in. So I am Kathy Richards. I'm a registered dietitian that works with the Ottawa Integrative Health Center, and I'm going to hop in on Tuesdays at 12:40. And Kathy Cochran is our holistic nutrition consultant at the center, and she's going to hop in on Fridays at 12:40 as well. And we're going to answer the same question. So it's kind of fun. We put out a post asking for questions. We got a bunch in. We have enough questions to keep us going for a few months, but if you have a burning nutrition question and you want to ask us, send it in. You can send it through the webpage or through the DMs in Instagram, and then we'll put you in the queue and we'll be able to answer you there. We also offer free 15-minute meet and greet. So if you have a quick nutrition question, you can always come on there and speak with myself or Kathy Cochran. So the question today, I'm going to read it, so make sure that I read it in its entirety. It was, what are good supplements, vitamins, to take to support the immune system? And are there foods that should be incorporated into your diet? So I don't know if you follow the post on Instagram. Dr. Colleen did a good kind of keep it simple, stupid, like a kiss kind of play on words in the last few months, talking about the immune system. So some of my suggestions when I work with clients would overlap. It's a timely question because that's my blog post for this month. It was supposed to be January, but I didn't get it onto my site, was top 5 immunity boosters. So number one, I think we all know over the last number of months, personal hygiene is important. I'm not going to go into that. But that's definitely at the top of the list for keeping your immunity up, is making sure that you're washing your hands and taking care of yourself that way. Number 2 for me would be, before a vitamin or a supplement or food, it would be stress reduction. So stress is one of the biggest things I see impacting my clients when it comes to their immunity, is the stress that they're under because of the pandemic, because of their work, because of life in general. I think most of us are under some stress at this point. But finding ways to help manage and deal with our stress is really one of the best ways to keep your immunity good. And stress reduction can look like exercise. It can look like getting enough sleep, and that's going to be one of my other points. It can look like eating well, but stopping during the day and just doing like a 5 deep breaths or doing a meditation at some point during your day between one of your work functions and a different function, or in the transition between leaving your work or finishing your work if you're at home and going back into your mama mode or whatever mode you go into. It's to give yourself some downtime. It's to remind the body that it doesn't have to be under stress all the time. And I find that's one of the biggest indicators for my clients for weight gain, for poor sleep, for just feeling like low energy, is because their stress levels are so high. And sometimes there's stress we can't avoid. I've had a lot of stress in 2020, like an extraordinary amount. The pandemic was actually a welcome stress for me to relax. But stress reduction, so through deep breathing, finding like an app that you like. There's lots of 10-minute meditations. EFT, which is emotional freedom technique, which is tapping, right? So you're tapping on different points on your body, is a great way to reduce stress. So you can look up EFT. I had a client yesterday, and that's what we ended up with, for her to reduce some of her anxiety, to find some EFT techniques that could work for her and have a video that could walk her through it. So stress reduction is huge. So you've got personal hygiene, stress reduction, to boost your immunity. Some ways I shared on, I don't know if that one went live yesterday. I was trying to do reels on my page and they didn't always work. But some other ways that I do for stress reduction, Cytocalm is a supplement that we carry at the Ottawa Integrative Health Center. I take that on a daily basis just to remind my body that it doesn't have to be under stress and to calm myself down. Calm Pro is a different supplement. It's got the green tea factor, which we know helps give some stress response, reduce stress. That one's a chewable, so it's quite pleasant tasting. So that one I kind of use as I need. Essential oils is a way to reduce stress. This is one I like, a Canadian company, Healing Hollow, and it's called Chill Out. So I might just rub it on, and it has some good relaxation properties as well. So stress reduction is a huge one. The next one, even before I get to food and supplements, is going to be sleep. Okay, in my mind, sleep is the most important determinant of health. Okay, and if we don't get enough sleep, it disrupts our immune function and it increases proteins in the body that actually increase inflammation. Consistent sleep strengthens the immune system and it balances things out. So they've actually seen that while we sleep, interestingly enough, the researchers have found that while we sleep, our body actually goes into a pro-inflammatory state. And that's this process of giving us some of the chemical messengers and immunity things in our blood, where it helps build them up and kind of strengthens our immune system. So if we're not getting the right amount of sleep, and 7 to 9 hours is ideal, a bit more if your kid's around 10 hours. But if you're not getting enough sleep, what they found is maybe because your body goes into this higher inflammation state during sleep based on our circadian rhythm or that 24-hour clock, if we're not getting the right amount of sleep, we can actually come out of our sleep while our body's still in that heightened inflammatory state and then kind of live in that state because we haven't given our body a chance to come back out of that state. So there's definitely a balance for immunity with the amount of sleep that we get. 7 to 9 hours is ideal. I've done some sleep videos. You can look them up on YouTube, Kathy Richards RD, about ways that we can protect our sleep because I feel it's one of the most important things to help with immunity and to help with that stress response, right? Because if we haven't slept well, our stress response is going to be higher to things. We're not going to eat well. It kind of just goes into every area. If we're tired, we haven't slept, we're not going to exercise. So you can see that it filters into all the areas. So for immunity boosting, I'd really focus on that personal hygiene, decrease that stress. So there's lots of ways to do that. Get enough sleep. Really, really important to get enough sleep. Exercise is also an important way to help with your immunity. They've seen people that exercise more often get less colds, and it's because it's reducing that stress response. It doesn't have to be crazy amount of activity, 30 to 60 minutes a day. If you can put that in your day as walking, even if you get out and start walking around the block once or twice a day, you're still going to be boosting your immunity response because you're going to be moving and getting more exercise. And again, it reduces that stress response. So it's a win-win. It also helps with your mood. So if you're in Canada, it's great to get out and move because with some of the changes in the weather, especially over the winter, it can seem long and it can drag on. So that can definitely impact our mood and our energy. The other thing I'll say when it comes to mood and energy is the supplement vitamin D. So everyone and this is another Cyto product, vitamin D drops. Anyone in North America should be supplementing vitamin D, anyone that lives in north of Atlanta, because we just can't get enough. We're not close enough to the equator and we can't get enough from our food supply. So vitamin D, 2,000 to 3,000 a day for adults, 1 drop of this is 1,000. And that's something that everyone across the board should take, even kids. So we want to make sure we get our immunity up. Other things to help with immunity food-wise, fruits and vegetables obviously have lots of vitamin C. So I had a client yesterday that was actually like surprised, how much do I have to eat for vegetables? So there's some programs that have like their little like veggie containers that they'll share with you as having that portion at a meal. I would just say if you're not having this portion at your meal, start with that. That's about 1.5 cups, I think. Or yeah, I think it's 1.5 cups. Or move on to a bigger container. I just fill this up while I'm making lunches and then I eat through the day. Things like peppers, citrus fruits, broccoli, spinach, carrots. You're going to get lots of vitamin C, and that's one of the nutrients that we want to have for our immunity as well. You can take it in a supplement form. It's water soluble, so anything extra that you're going to take, you're just going to pee out anyways. So you can get it that way as well. I know at the Ottawa Integrative Health Center, they offer like IV therapy with vitamin C as well. So that's another option. So lots of fruits and vegetables. And again, that's getting that vitamin C in. One of the things that I think gets missed by a lot of people is having enough protein. Protein is really important to make sure we get enough because it actually builds some of those immune components in our blood. So if we don't get enough protein, it can reduce immunity. So for protein, it doesn't have to be a huge amount. It needs to be about the size of the palm of your hand portion at a meal. Okay, so, and there could be other ways you can get it in. I was working with a client this morning who's chosen to go plant-based for various reasons, but is also reducing beans and nuts and things for a health condition. So in that case, if you're eating plant-based, we actually ended up with them taking some animal proteins back into their diet just to make sure that they got enough protein. As we age, our muscle mass decreases, so you want to make sure you've got protein earlier in the day. The studies show our body responds better to that. So a protein source, at least breakfast, lunch, and dinner. It doesn't have to be a huge steak, but some sort of protein. If you need some ideas around that, book a free 15-minute call, and I can see, or Kathy Cochran can see, what can fit in to kind of boost your nutrient intake if we're thinking about protein intake. But those are my main immunity boosters: personal hygiene, stress reduction, sleep, exercise, adequate protein, fruits and vegetables, obviously a good intake throughout the day. If half your plate can be vegetables, you're already winning. Most people aren't eating that much. I actually did have COVID-19, so we're talking about immunity boosting. So Dr. Colleen from the clinic, when I asked her to send me supplements she would recommend, she did send this flavonoid, quercetin, that the clinic offers as a way to get more of the flavonoids and the anti-inflammatory properties of those. So that was important to take through my COVID experience, and after that to keep my immunity up. So there's lots of different ways we can keep immunity up. Number one, in my mind, is really managing your stress, and that's sometimes adding supplements to keep your body calm, getting out moving, getting enough sleep, and eating well. So everything works together to keep our immunity up. All right, guys, so come back on Friday. Kathy Cochran's going to hop in and give you her advice and talk about other supplements or other foods that she would have you add in. I don't want to go too long. There's zinc, echinacea, and ginseng, which is, there's a specific strain in a product called Cold FX, which has shown to be helpful as well. So lots of ways to boost our immunity. I don't want to overwhelm you. My approach is always to start where we're at and build from there. So if the number one thing that you can do is incorporate something every day to help you reduce the stress that your body feels, that's going to be your best winner to help boost your immunity. All right, guys, if you have any questions, drop them below. Thanks for listening, and come back on Friday, and you